works to do, people to see, money to make, laundry, dishes. Maybe you're anxious about all the shit that you need to get done. And perhaps you're even more worried because you're neglecting these chores by watching this weird YouTube channel. I'm gonna share with you how you're gonna set yourself free from the pain of anxiety. Because, truth be told, it's impossible not to feel anxious, but it is possible not to suffer from it. Anxiety, it's intimately related to all those things that we think that we need to get done, and as soon as we get done with these things, we're gonna be able to chill and live a life away from suffering. But let's be honest, when you're done with all those tasks that were making you anxious, you still feel anxious. And the truth is, we're anxious about our own beings, as if there is something that is permanent within us and that is ruining our ability to find joy daily. And sometimes we make ourselves believe that if we do certain things, if we achieve something, we might be able to get rid of that anxiety. For example, if you only had a little bit more money, if you were just a little bit in better shape, if you were just a little bit taller, prettier, smarter, faster, famous, you know what I mean. That feeling that if we were only a little bit better than we are right now. And this makes us feel some sort of suffering, but sometimes people, instead of dealing with this suffering, they just go ahead, have a puff, a drink, or just bury themselves into video game, work, and excessive eating. And even though we do those things to try to numb our suffering from anxiety, we still wait. We wait for something to happen. That opportunity that will come, that right person to appear in our life, the economy to start growing again. But despite all these possible accomplishments that you might already have or still trying to aim in your life, none of them will take you out of the constant feeling of being anxious. Because anxiety is within our beings. It is physically and mentally programmed in our minds. We always will have insufficient skills, motivation, and knowledge to make most major decisions in life. So what the heck do we do with this anxious state? Seriously, we have to accept it. And this is the most important and single reason that will set you free from destructive anxiety. It's what I like to call. Just by accepting that sometimes you're anxious, you're distracted, confused, and indecisive on what you should do in life will lead space for you to reflect on what to do instead of just suffer from the not knowing. Instead of dreading that you are a failure and have some serious emotional problems because you just cannot understand what you want. The secret to tame this anxiety that it's slowly taking your energy, it's to understand a really simple concept called the feedback loop from hell, a term coined by Mark Manson, and it appears in the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and it's also on a blog post that he did on his personal blog. I'm gonna leave the link in the description for these two sources that I just cited. But the feedback loop from hell could be interpreted as, okay guys, now I have to be super honest with you. I'm gonna try to interpret the feedback loop from hell, and I'm a horrible actor. So it's gonna be so bad that you're gonna laugh. But here we go. Damn, I'm really anxious to go and talk to that girl. She's so pretty, and I believe that we had some sort of connection. But I just don't know what to say to her. And what if she has a boyfriend or something like that? Damn, now my heart is pumping. I don't know what to say to her, and I'm anxious. Fuck, now I'm anxious. And I'm anxious because I'm anxious. Now I'm with double anxiety. Fuck, I don't know what to do. It's so bad. So, according to this really bad acting, you could easily picture yourself in a situation. Doesn't necessarily include a dude trying to approach a girl, but like public speaking, it's the one that I believe that most people, instead of they feel anxious and then they start to get anxious about their own anxiety, and this creates a mental pattern that it's not good for your performance. And you might know that. I do know that. Because we think that feeling stupid, distracted, anxious, fearful, or anything bad, it's actually bad. And to help, we go to social media and see how others have a way fucking cooler life than ours. I was thinking of a good analogy and I found this one. Social media, it's like a spice for bad feelings. Because it's not the main dish, a spice, it increases the flavor of the main dish. And the main dish in this case is your feelings. If you're feeling happy and you go to social media, you probably find some joy there. But if you're feeling anxious, you're feeling unworthy, and you go to social media, you're gonna go in a spiral downward of bad feelings and you're gonna just be more anxious. So I want to remind you that if you want to tame your anxiety, you shouldn't feel anxious about your own anxiety. So how do you do that? When you start to feeling anxious, instead of start labeling that feeling of anxiety as being bad, as if there is something wrong with you, just become aware of the feeling and say to yourself, yes, I'm anxious. So what? Like, am I gonna die because of that? Is this thing actually gonna really change my life that much? So as soon as you start diminishing the feeling of anxiety in a helpful way, instead of increasing and doubling the anxiety with the feedback loop from help, you're actually going to be able to feel really chill. So do not try to force your way out of anxiety. You should instead feel it, and you should feel it all the way through, because then when you least expect, it's going to be gone and you've tamed your anxiety. So I hope that this video helped you on understanding a little bit more about your emotions and primarily how to feel anxiety in a way that it doesn't increase the bad feelings and instead brings you down to a more relaxed, calm, and ready to perform state. I hope that you find this video useful, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like in the video down below. I really appreciate it. Take it easy. Bye bye.